Hi everyone, this is Susie from Minnesota Zone 4, and I thought I'd take you on a tour today of my vegetable garden. It's a little late, but I thought better late than never. It's about the last week in June. Over here I have 4 plants that are planted, well, more than 4 on each side, but of cucumbers. Early Russian, I have never planted that. That is new for me this year. It's doing pretty good. Lots of watering in this area. I'm glad I had a really thick layer of mulch down, but that is slowly going away. And by the end of the season, it'll probably be completely gone, which adds lots of organic matter to my soil. And that's pretty much the way I go with most of my stuff. I use the leaf mulch. This is lemon gem. I'm not sure if that came out correctly. Marigold. I started that from seed. Love it. It's nice and dainty. I took it a little easy on the marigolds this year. Last year I just had so many. And this one I have Muncher cucumber. I've been having to help twine it up here. It has a ways to grow. So, like, what would that be? Maybe 4 feet here, and it can spread out. And here I have 4 rows of bush beans. This is purple teepee, 2 rows of it. And then 2 rows of dragon tongue. And they look a little tough. And this season has been different. I might have to put some support in here. These tend to get floppy. You can see the wind has just kind of pushed them this way. I have more than enough bamboo to go around to stake pretty much anything in my garden. And then I know sometimes these tend to climb just a little bit, so. And then in here, I just have some stakes back here just to support these zinnias at some point. They may not need it. They're doing pretty good, but just in case. And this is Queenie Red Lime zinnia. So cute. I love how zinnias get different heads on them. And they're the same plants, but this is a little more pom-pom. They remind me of dahlias. And then you have this color here, which is also Queenie Red Lime. Like I said, any of the zinnias, cosmos, cut flowers, they were all seed started by me. Which way do I want to go? Maybe this way. Over here I have peppers planted. These are jalapeno peppers that I started. Believe me, they're looking way better than what I thought they'd be looking at this point. It was touch and go there for a bit. I'm not great at growing peppers, but I have them here because at some point my peas aren't going to last too long, and then I'll figure something else out in here. But I've been getting a lot of peas from here, which this one is ready to sugar snap. It's a sugar bon sugar snap pea, shorter variety. Only thing is, when I get over here, you can see this has got much taller and skinnier. So I'm thinking that might be, I'm trying to figure out. I'll think of the variety. But yeah, lots and lots of peas this year. I can't believe it. And I have more that I popped down in here that are just starting. I'm pretty sure this is a self-seeded marigold. I could be wrong. It's gotten quite big. My lettuce is huge. Been harvesting from here. I still have this in here. I couldn't get that out soon enough, so now my lettuce is growing up. At some point that will bolt, and then it'll come out. I took off the netting on this area. I made this cage and put some fleece netting over it because I always have issues with birds getting in my seeds and scattering them and then never having a good harvest. Plus, it's protected the kohlrabi. Look at no damage on the leaves from anything. This has done great. Pardon my shadow, but you can see, look at that. Probably the best crop of kohlrabi I have ever had. And there's more in here if you can. And I love this. I just eat it raw. And that is the way my dad always did it. They would get to be about baseball size. And he'd just peel it and give it to us kids. Love it. I have beets in here. I think, is it Detroit Red? It's your pretty common ones. And they were just seeds left over. And I had sowed pretty heavily. I had watched Charles Dowding, and he has a video on multi-sowing. So I'll see if that works for me. Oops. Got a weed in here. Out you go. So yeah, so I watch a lot of his Charles Dowding videos. Just love them. Hopefully I have luck. Right now the kohlrabi is doing pretty good, and that was sown pretty heavily too. I'm just trying to back out of my garden here. Red Russian kale, first time I've grown that this year. It's unbelievable. Look at this. I mean, it's taken over. It's actually outdone the lettuce. I have carrots in here too somewhere. You can see. Not many. I didn't have a really good germination rate, but we'll see if they come to anything. But yeah, the red, I can't keep up with it. It's massive. And then I just have lettuce in the front. I need to pick a bunch more. It's been a little bitter, but we've been really hot. All of this stuff in this bed was started probably the first week of May. I was able to, and it actually survived that frost we had. And I think because the seeds weren't up at that time either. So it was a little slow going, but nothing died. Oh, you can see here more carrots in there. Again, it probably isn't going to do much because it's getting shaded out by everything. Another type of lettuce in here. This was just seed tape that I didn't realize I got seed tape. I'm like, oh my goodness, $4.50 for a packet of seeds, and then I realized it was tape. I'm not big on the tape. It did okay. You might as well just get the seeds. So here, snow peas. That's what I was thinking of, snow peas. They're flatter, but look, it is covered, absolutely covered. So I could be wrong. Maybe, I mean, they're bulking out a little bit, but we'll see. But this, I had to put the stake in here. Actually, I did too. I just kind of crisscrossed it like that. So it's got something. Can't wait. I love peas. Oh, more jalapeno peppers. It's a Tam jalapeno. They're supposed to be a little more mild. You can see they're not, they're good. I'll take that. But they're probably getting shaded out by the peas. But again, at some point, they're not going to last with the warmth we have coming up. Back here, I have 2 zucchinis. Sure thing. It's supposed to be good for northern climates. Shadier, cooler. You can see. Oh. I have a nice flower on. I think it's self-pollinating, if I'm right. I don't know. Don't quote me on that, though. But it is a female fruit on here. I'm so happy. You can see I have a lot of fruit in there. I do have some male flowers too. Usually I have issues with squash vine borers. Squash bugs, not so much. I say that and I might have an issue. But I have these traps set up. And it lures in the squash vine borers, which it has. Once I put that little orange kind of, I don't know, it looks like a stopper, but you should have seen the bugs come around the squash. it was crazy. There had been 10 just circling this. But we'll see how it works. Because the squash vine borers, once they get to my plants, they're pretty much gone. Here I have a Table King bush squash. Sorry, a lot of sh in there. Doing pretty good. I do have 2 plants in here just because of my issues. It might be a little bit crowded, but like I said, they may not even last. They look really healthy. It is morning. We're a little shaded, so that's okay. They get that blazing hot sun in the afternoon. Here I have a Tabasco pepper. It's tiny. I put it here because I was running out of room. It probably won't do good here because this squash will get to be Jurassic size if the traps work. Oh, I have more zinnias back here. I had some extra that I put in another one. So I have a purple, I have the lime green, same with here, the purple, which matches my purple bird feeder back here. I love the purple. Let's see, we'll just swing it around this way. I'm blowing off mosquitoes. They're not too bad. I have another trap here. Let's see if there's anything in here. Yep, unfortunately it probably catches some other bugs. I do feel bad about that, but really love zucchini and squash. In here I have to be careful, I have ants in this bed. I have another Tabasco pepper, which looks really good. Right here too, you can see that one probably gets a little less sun. That's why that's doing better. More basil. Dark opal. Here I have 2 California Wonder peppers. They're doing, again, my peppers looked really tough when I put them in. Basically, I had topped them, and then that was it. And then I was just left with stalks. The leaves fell off, so it was not pretty. And then I have 2 here, which is the Corbaci Sweet, and over here, these 2, which look unhappy. I think it's Ajvarsky. If you can read my writing, probably not. Sometimes I can't even read it. I'm not sure if I'm saying that properly. I think it's Ajvarsky. And it's a sweet pepper, so I have the sweet peppers here. And granted, the Tabasco pepper is there. That's a hot one. And in these 2 tomatoes, I'm training them up just a stake here. And I am letting them sucker a little bit because I'm not getting a whole lot of fruit on them as much as I wanted to. So I'll just kind of I'm not going to let it sucker a lot, just a little bit. But this is Barry's Crazy Cherry Tomato. It's loaded with blossoms. I can't wait to see how that does. And then with my tomatoes, I give them a tap. And just to help pollinate the fruit here. Or the flowers, I should say. I have some staking I still need to do. Again, this is, and I have 2. These were started by me. My tomatoes looked horrible when I planted them. They were leggy, spindly, and just, I think the fungus gnats did a number on them. They are buried. These aren't too bad. They were a little bit smaller, so they're probably buried about 6 inches down, if not a little further. You can do that with tomatoes. And then over here is one of mine. This is Paul Robeson. Pretty sure. And again, I just kind of tap them. I'll keep staking. Once it gets to the top here, I'm going to top them. And then I'll let them sucker just a little bit. Maybe I'll get a little more fruit on that way. Here I have a Dr. White Cheese, which is doing pretty good. I have some flowers on. No fruit. I have, looks like 5 trusses on here. Again, this is a sucker. I will be supporting that too. I really love tomatoes. And I went with a lot more tomatoes this year than normal. Usually I do just 6. I think I have 14 or 15. This basil is looking wonderful. I just love it. And then down here, so because my tomato plants looked so horrible, I went to the garden center and bought 5 plants. And in this one, I have a Hungarian heart. Now, it looks pretty good in this bed. I have, let's see, 2 trusses of flowers on. I grew Hungarian heart last year and it was unbelievable. Very happy. Huge fruit. So hopefully I have luck again this year. The tomatoes that were mine may have looked horrible going in, but they look the best out of all of them. So the ones I got from the garden center looked beautiful when I bought them, but this one's doing pretty good. And this is, I think the squirrels dig my tags out. This is another Dr. Wychees, and I just love the flavor. And this is looking good. I am just letting this sucker bush out. You can see that I prune off the bottom leaves. This just started. I'll still probably trim that one off here, but they're looking tough. You will see more marigolds. Oops, gotta watch out for my asparagus that I have growing in my mulch. I've staked it up. I'm giving it a chance. It's not supposed to be there. I didn't plant it there. But this one right here, this is a Paul Robeson. This one still looks pretty good. Lots of flowers on, so can't wait. That's doing okay. And then when I come over here, this is where the leaves start looking a little tougher, curlier. They just keep coming out like this. And they've all been fertilized, watered the same. Like I said, these were some of the best looking tomatoes I've ever seen at the garden center. The starts. So not happy with, that's why I'm just letting them sucker. Because I don't know how this plant's going to do overall. Even at the bottom, I might trim those little strays up. But this one right here is Italian heirloom. I've never grown this one. It is flowering, so. And then here, let's see. This is an Apolka. I mean, they are growing like mad. When you think that this is close to the end of June and they're this tall. But when my plants do reach the top of the cages and the stakes, I will top them. Here is my fire pit. I cleaned it out. I think I'm just going to turn this into a planter. I'll probably plant some more zucchini in here. I have some seeds started. It's a huge fire pit, and I'm just running out of area to safely have fires. But I do like my fire pits. Oh, not quite done with the tomato tour. Sorry. So these plants here, all in the back, I have 5. They were also started by me early in the season. I want to say April, end of March, April. So these are all blueberries. You can see I have lots of fruit on. Aren't they neat? And I was single stemming these up until I realized that I may not get a lot of cherry tomatoes if I do that. So I am letting them sucker a little bit more in hopes that I get some more fruit. But I have these 4. You can definitely tell that they're the blueberries because of the purple in them. And they're not ripe yet. I think the bottoms have to turn red. I'll have to do some reading up on that. But this one here, this is supposed to be a blueberries. Well, you can see it's not turning purple, but also look at the fruits on it. And they're a little different. So, and if I need to stand back. This one is already at the top of the pole, whereas the other 4 are not. So I think I have a different variety, which is good. But although, I mean, if it tastes really good, I won't know what variety it is, right? And down here, I have, it's a cantaloupe, and it's called Minnesota Midget. And it matures in 60 to 80 days. I've never had luck with melons. I tried them last year, and I wasted an entire bed on it. So that, to me, that's a failure, because I got nothing out of that bed. It's doing really good. I didn't grow this. This is also just a start from a garden center. I think biggest thing is just getting them to train up here. Over here, yes, I have a lot in here because these are Kajari melons. I don't have a whole lot of luck with this. Maybe I'll have better luck because we got warmer temps finally. This year, last year, we were probably too cool for this. But when they really get going, I will thin them out to probably 3. I think that'll be fine. Again, we are shaded right now, but in, I would say, an hour, it'll be blazing sun. Lemon tree. If something's digging it, I might go ahead. I'm not a big fan of the lemon tree. We will come over here first, and then I'll go through the little gate. And here I just have a lima bean on this side, and then on the other side I'll have to go, I think it's like a sugar magnolia snap pea tendril. Just started to flower. Like it's put on all of this growth down here, and what about 4 feet up is when it started to bloom. I'm not sure how I feel about that. But it's latching on. I'm okay with that. And it's browning a little bit. I've been having to keep up on the watering a lot on these. And then over in these grow bags here, everything's heavily mulched just to kind of help water less. Lots of cucumbers. I love my cucumbers. Between beans, cucumbers, tomatoes, peas, I just can't get enough. I don't know. Like I said, something's been digging my tags out. Oh, nope, that's right. So these 2 right here, they're the same. I have Suyo Long. I grew them last year. Love that variety. It performs, and they get really long. And they're some of the first ones to ripen for me too. And then this one is Dragon Suyo. I think I've grown that one too. I think the only 2 new ones this year is the Muncher and the Russian. Early Russian. And then this is a lunchbox one. And these 2 containers here. And they're doing pretty good. So that is my little vegetable tour. Wish I could grow more, but this is definitely more than enough for me and some family. And hopefully everything does well. Hopefully the squash vine borers leave my stuff alone, because I love zucchini and squash. Can't wait for these peas. But I'm just going to go over here real quick. And it was a little hard to decide what I wanted to do. And only reason being is because in this bed over here, I have strawberries. And it does good. I mean, you can see it's in quite a bit of sun. The birds like it too. I like it. I've been eating, but I don't get a lot. You know, not enough to can or maybe make one dessert with, but considering what I pay at a grocery store for strawberries, especially around this time. I mean, I think strawberries taste pretty good around this time anyway. But I'm thinking, because right now you can see they're ripening, and I'm eating them just as quick as what they ripen. And it's a handful here, a handful there. But then after they're done, this bed just sits here. And I'll get another tiny crop in the fall. And I'm not sure if that's worth it. Because I figure I could probably just transition this bed to a vegetable bed, grow some more zucchini, and I'm thinking squash. And it's a hard decision, but the one thing about these strawberries here is they were all bare root. I got a lot in bulk, so which I totally recommend. You think that they arrive dead, you're like, you're not going to have success, and then wham, this is what you get. So I would definitely go bare root for when you're growing strawberries. But yeah, it's taken up a whole bed, and to me, it's not very productive. Because I figure in the spring I could always start lettuce in here, my cold weather crops, and then transition it over to zucchini or squash later on. So I think I am going to pull out all of these strawberries, and it's a hard decision because I do love strawberries. But I just don't know if I get enough to make me want to keep this a strawberry bed. But yeah, I kind of strayed from my first vegetable garden. But yeah, hopefully you like this vegetable tour, and I will keep you updated on the progress of how things are going, and maybe we take you for some harvests. Fingers crossed that we get some rain here. Bye for now.